GoLoud.
Okay, here we are. Guys, I am currently sitting in my spare bedroom. I'm surrounded by about 6 different suitcases. And in about 90 minutes, we will be leaving the house to go down and get married. Terrifying, I know. However, I'm sorry, we're going away on Sunday then, after the wedding. Well, you know that by now because it's Wednesday, but after the wedding on Sunday, we're flying over to Sweden. I couldn't go a week without the show because you've been so loyal and you've listened and tuned in every week, and it's been so amazing that there was no way I could just leave you hanging. So I thought, let's try and get a special version of the Weekly Roast recorded to keep the show alive while I'm gone. So what better way to do that than have my now wife do her world famous impression of me on the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the Weekly Roast. Normal business will resume next week, but for now, I'd like to introduce you to bear in mind, this person has had 2 TV series based around her impressions. My wife, Doireann Garry.
Welcome back to the Weekly Roast. How are your heads? How are your hearts? But more importantly, how are your arseholes?
Brilliant. I never say that.
Please say that some week. How are your arses in this festive season? The indulgent food can wreak havoc on the intestine.
This is
you, Mark. This is your level of humour. This is the real you. That's you at home. So don't act like you're above that. That's the stuff you go on with about your bummy. About your bummy. You talk about your bummy every 5 sentences at home.
Do my voice on the podcast, how to speak.
To say, oh, let's go. On y va. The French, like cringe.
It's not fucking cringe.
It's cringe. Does one stint in France.
When have you ever cried? Tell me a time that you've cried in your life.
Shout out to The Last Year Life, a non-GoLoud podcast. My own independent podcast. Available on all podcast platforms.
That is the Rosemont levels.
Just to clarify, it is the morning that we're about to head down for our wedding, and Mark is conveniently, when I'm in the midst of trying to wax, gloss, tone up.
Christmas turkeys being plucked less.
That is
genuinely balls. There are people receiving medical treatment for alopecia who have more fucking hair on their gowns than the fucking crown of Doireann's heart.
Edit that out. That is beyond disgusting. No, Mark, stop that.
Couple banter.
That's gone.
It's a couple banter.
Anyway, by the time this goes out, Mark will be a married man. So congratulations, Mark. And to the listeners of the Weekly Roast, send him all the love.
Thank you.
He deserves it. You deserve it, Mark. To say cringe ass. Let's go.
Okay. Welcome back to the Weekly Roast. How's it going, guys? How the hell are you? How are your hearts? And of course, how are your heads? Guys, what's the story? How are you getting on? This is, as you can imagine, not a normal podcast. So I hope you will give me this week to sort of throw the cat amongst the pigeons and release a little bit of a different episode. Don't worry, it's not going to be too earnest. I'm not going to be gushing, and I'm not going to regale my speech word for word that hopefully had the entire room reaching for more tissues than I did in the summer of 2003 when we got high-speed internet in the house. Nevertheless, I'm a married man. And I want to say thank you so much for all of your support over the last couple of months in the build-up. I don't know if you could get it from my voice in last week's episode, but like, It was really squeaky bum time. I was incredibly nervous. The anxiety was very much pulsating through the veins. So thank you so much for all of your support. It's been an amazing, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it, journey. So there was no way that I was going to leave you hanging for the week while I was gone. With that, in today's show, guys, we have a series of very special guests from the GoLoud roster. Calvin and Terence from Talking Bollix, Charlene and Ellie from Hold My Drink, and Darren and Joe from Stall It. You are in very safe hands as these podcasting pros discuss the highs and the lows, the pitfalls and woes of all things weddings, okay? I'll be back next week. Now it's time for Talking Bollix. Calvin and Terence, great guys who actually had me on their podcast a few months back. Some of you will have heard that episode. It's where I was talking about my book, my journey through, I suppose, alcoholism and not drinking and all of the rest, whilst also featuring some details of my early days of rap battling in Store Street in Dublin City. Now it's only fair for them to come on my podcast and give us their thoughts on weddings.
So, I was at a wedding before, and he's a good friend of mine, but we met in college. So, Amy was invited as well, because we all met in college at the same time. One of our other mates who met in college, we were all going to be sitting at the same table. So that was grand. Me, Amy, and we won't name this fella, but his name was Frankie. So we get in, we sit down at the table, and that's grand. Amy goes to take her seat, and the seat's not there. So we're like, geez, you must have got the tables mixed up. So we're going through the table order, and you know where your name is in front of all the seats? Frankie decided to bring a +1 and never told anybody, and thought because he knows who's getting married, it'd be grand. So when I came to dishing out all the food and all, Amy actually never got fed. There wasn't enough dinner to go around. There was only enough per table.
Starving.
So it's a bad one, isn't it?
Would you do that?
What, show up unannounced?
Yeah.
You can't not hit a wedding. Not a wedding is different, you know. If you're going to a 21st or a 30th, yeah, tag along, no problem. To a wedding where you're sitting down and your nameplate's in front of you. There's random word that I even know her name, but her name was Amy for the night anyways, because that's what was in front of her.
Where was she from?
I don't know the woman, I don't even know her name.
Are you sure she wasn't from town? 'Cause I've heard the stories of whole families showing up at weddings when they weren't invited. You know, there's like family feuds and people don't really talk and things like that. And they hear there's a wedding, free dinner, and they just show up, and I just think that's a towny thing.
Yeah, showing up for the grushy.
Yeah.
I was in-
Remember the grushy?
I was in the middle of the grushy at my own ma's wedding. I was in a tuxedo and I was there picking up Laken coins outside the church.
Mark's not going to know what a grushy is.
No, he's not, but sure, look.
A grushy, I don't know whether this is a towny thing or not, is it?
We had this before.
But it used to happen either outside the church or if you were in a set of flats, they'd throw. So
Coin.
they'd get a load of coins,
Yeah,
a load of money, and they'd throw it over the balcony in the flats.
yeah.
And there'd be murder.
Or the steps of the church.
Yeah, or
Throw
the
it all
steps of
out.
the church. And there'd be kids and sometimes 40 and 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
Times are tough in town.
Yeah.
They'd be bleeding milling kids.
I was part of the deal. I was in the procession. I was on the altar.
You were
And I was in
you
and I was in the middle of it. You know, it was like inside our trade, and I knew when it was coming and all.
rolling around the puddle trying to
Saying
get
it to me cousin, give me the knot there when you're about to throw it, and throw her over towards my direction. I think I walked away with a tenner, but a tenner 20 years ago.
Oh, but a tenner,
was
like,
balling.
grushy is good going. You're lucky to get 2 or 3 coins together.
I was balling.
What?
You'd lose a couple of teeth in a grushy.
Yeah, it's a Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Walking
so
away with 50p and you're the Lord.
there's no way anyone who Mark Megan knows what a grushy is.
Nobody
so I'd be
knows,
curious to know if his listeners know what a grushy is.
Doireann would know what a grushy is. And good north side, I like it. Where's Mark from? Can we get that? Can we
South
get that
Dublin.
information of that?
South Dublin.
He probably,
He's a south
probably
sider.
private, is it? Private information. I'm like
Mate.
41.
Yeah, a private estate. How much do you reckon Doireann's throwing out in a grushy?
Ah, $4,000 at least.
Throwing out keys to Beamers and all.
Yeah.
Trust funds getting
One for
fucked
everyone
out.
in the audience.
Mortgage approvals left, right and centre. Private school, here you go.
Oprah Gary.
Charles Megan in the mix. With a gum shield on. Getting in there. That's what they're all good at rugby. You know what I mean? Getting into the
Yeah.
scrum for an old grusher, they call it.
Mark, take your teeth out, bro. You would. Anyway.
Welcome back to the weekly roast. What's going on, guys? How the hell are you? I'm Mark, and I'm now married.
He's so enthusiastic and poetic, isn't he? Jeff? Jeff?
Very articulate, yeah.
I listen to a lot of Mark's episodes, like, and Jesus Christ, the boy can talk, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You can tell he's done this before. Him and his brother in the gaff doing podcasts on the sly.
They must be.
The two most professional podcast hosts I've ever met in my life. Do you reckon he's going Mark Gardahy?
Nah.
That's the money shot, though.
Doireann, Megan. Oh, don't like it.
Yeah, but Gary has a bit of weight to it. They're an established family. They're a pillar in Irish society.
Yeah.
Now, Mark knows that's the money shot.
Yeah.
Hitch onto the back of that wagon.
I hope you're enjoying this show, guys. At the end of the day, variety is the spice of life, and it's nice to shake things up every now and then. Shake the roots, but still rake the leaves in, as the fella says. Nevertheless, I'll be back on Wednesday. If you have any thoughts on what to roast, let me know. But I think we should do something wedding related. If you enjoyed today's podcast, send me a DM. And by the way, what a huge thank you is deserved to Kieran for picking up the pieces and keeping the show on the road whenever I'm off, freezing my nuts off in Sweden. So thank you so much to Kieran, to all of you. Now let's head over and hear from Darren and Joe from Stall It, one of Ireland's finest podcasts. Here, they're giving us their unique roast of weddings.
You just sent out your invitations for your wedding,
I did.
and it reminded me of my invitations when I was getting married. And on the invitation, and this was going back and forth with me and Maura, like, what do you think of the invitations and stuff like that. And the first draft of the invitation was, tell me what you think about this.
What's up? Are you coming or not?
You stalling it? Stall it to me wedding. The first line was, Mona and Martin, mother and father of Maura McGuckin, invites you. Mona and Martin invites you to their daughter Maura's
And Joseph McGuckin's.
wedding, who's getting married to Joseph McGuckin.
That's the old way of doing it.
Yeah, because traditionally
The father.
the father and mother of the bride, they organise the wedding. But I didn't know that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why is their names on it? Like, get my man and dad's names should be on it then as well. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just leave. Like, this is going to be sent out to everyone. My family, my side of the family as well.
Imagine your man and dad done your invitations for everything.
They
To your
fucking-
birthday, you know.
my job interview. You just show up introducing Joe McGuckin for this job interview. I just thought it was weird to leave out my side of the family. I just kind of felt like an afterthought.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the right thing to do, the traditional
Who
thing.
took it upon themselves to do that?
Moira.
She said, my mum and dad are going to do that.
Well, Mona and Martin invite you
Yeah.
to their daughter's wedding.
But were you not like, hang on a minute, can we not just write, we're inviting you, like?
Yeah, that's what. This was a
that the
big
argument?
issue.
That was the
This was a
argument,
big
yeah.
issue. And eventually, I was trying to get the invitation, but eventually it was Mona and Martin invite you to their daughter Maura McGuckin's wedding, who will be getting married to Joseph McGuckin, son of Joan and John. And it's just like a paragraph of an invitation on the front of the invite.
While we're talking about weddings, do you know what I fucking hate?
Come on.
Rock the boat.
Don't rock the boat, baby.
That rock the boat shit. Does me head in.
It is, yeah. It's one of the.
You'd be full, stuffed full of drink and food. Then you have to sit on the floor and rock the fucking boat.
Gets you going though. Gets everyone onto the dance floor.
Yeah,
you need
I know.
a floor filler.
But I can't get down because my arse does be out.
The crack, yeah.
The crack. I think majority of the male crack will be out.
Yeah.
Would your crack be out?
I have a really small crack.
You have a little crack there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a big long crack.
Up to the back of his neck.
The thing is fucking gone up to me bleeding scalp.
Oh, invites to weddings.
There's a lot of M's going on though. Like
Yeah, there's a
Moira,
lot, yeah.
Mona. What's her last name?
Martin.
Moira, Mona, Martin.
And the McDonald's as well. So,
Moira MacDonald.
more a lot M&M's. They're all
M&Ms,
M&M's.
yeah.
Packet of M&M's. Look me.
I-
My whole family's name is Jay.
All your first names start with a J.
John, Josh, Joanne, Joan, Joe,
Yeah,
Jason.
yourself, Jason.
All J. All J-O actually, except
And-
for Jason.
You broke the cycle
Why?
because you called your kids O's and
B's, yeah.
O's and
B-O.
B's.
We're like the Kardashians, aren't we?
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah. Identical.
The money as well, like you have.
Oh, fucking yeah. Imagine.
Oh, sorry. It goes without saying that I'll be back next week to do a full, breakdown of everything that went on over the wedding. I think it's time for like a full-blown roast about the wedding. at that stage. So we can either do a roast of honeymoons or a roast of weddings. Let me know. Send me a message on Instagram at Megan Mark, and we'll get a really, really big extra special one in the oven for when I come back next week. So let me know what you think. But I think we could do a proper one about weddings, because I'm assuming some of you would want to roast our wedding as well. So there you go. Next up, Hold My Drink. This is Charlene and Ellie doing what Charlene and Ellie do best, and that is being Charlene and Ellie. Thank you, Charlene and Ellie.
Hey, we're Charlene and Ellie from the Home I Drink podcast.
Hello.
And we're doing a little roast, I suppose.
Yeah, little rant.
First, yeah. We do rants of the week anyway in our bonus episodes of our podcast, but this one, seeing as wedding is the topic of the moment,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to do honeymoons and weddings.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
One of my wedding rants
Icks.
is when you see clips of a wedding and you just see people hanging out the aisles with their phones. I don't get it. Put your phone away.
I would have a big sign saying no.
Yeah, I've been to weddings where they've specifically said like absolutely no phones. One, it doesn't look nice, I don't think.
No.
And then also my other fear is that your great aunt Bethany,
Has the flip phone case.
will
Oh.
just post it somewhere before you get to.
Oh,
yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a big fear of mine.
Bethany will have an album of Facebook of
Yes.
wedding
Yeah, definitely.
before anyone else has ever
Mhm.
even seen it.
And I just don't think it looks right. But one of my things that I've actually seen recently on TikTok of like a good thing I've seen,
Mm.
and it's like the title is always when your bridesmaids understood the assignment, and when the bride and the groom or whatever are going in for their first kiss, the bridesmaid will like take the what is it called?
Okay.
No, the
Oh.
celebrant, the priest, I don't know, whoever's standing behind them, take them out of the way.
Whip them out of the
Yeah,
way.
literally, I've seen videos where
Kick
they
them
get
behind the altar.
dragged out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
So the picture will just be them too, and
Because otherwise you have this person
Yeah.
behind you like,
just smiling.
oh,
So I've
God.
seen good and I've seen things that I'm like,
Do you reckon it's real awkward kissing in front of everyone?
yeah, do you have to practice that?
You'd have to make it look like I have a double chin and I'll probably want to
Will
kiss.
you?
No.
No, but you have to practice
I
what
don't-
kind of kiss it in. What if he was going full welly like,
Yeah.
and you only wanted a peck?
Is it a peck? Do you do more than that?
I don't know.
I'd feel a bit sick if people start putting their tongues down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all your family just looking at you, meeting the face off
Staring,
each other.
yeah. My thing about weddings, but it's not even a roast because I know I'm going to be the exact same.
Mhm.
It's just something that happens because a wedding is all consuming. But I do feel like most people, including myself, so when I say this, I literally mean it. I'm going to be the exact same. The wedding becomes them.
Yeah, it's
They
their whole
are. I'm going to
personality.
be Charlene Wedding Murphy.
I was gonna say you're going to need to change your name.
My middle name.
Yeah,
It's gonna-
Charlene Wedding Planner.
Wedding account.
yeah.
Only.
You're gonna
Sorry.
make a wedding account.
All I'll wear is white,
Yeah.
and it's all I'll talk about.
That's
Someone
okay.
tries to change the subject. Say what? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Back
I
to
don't understand.
to my wedding.
What do you
Sorry.
mean?
What do you mean?
But it does. It is like that, isn't it?
Well, I feel like it's allowed. Okay, some people might be like, "Oh, here she goes again," but
Yeah,
like, it's also
yeah.
allowed. You're hoping in your lifetime to get married.
To get
once.
married. Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
hopefully,
It actually doesn't even annoy me, but I feel like it does annoy people, and I'm gonna be that person to be annoying.
you're self-aware, girl. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
It's fine.
exactly.
At least
Yeah.
you can admit it.
I can.
If you were one of them and then tried to be like, "No, I never make my whole personality," like that's more annoying.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
true.
At least you're letting people know. You're giving people plenty of notice now.
Taking all of follow what I can.
Plenty of notice.
I'm trying to think about else at weddings. I don't like when you have to wait too long to eat.
Timing of weddings is a big thing.
Yeah, I would. If I was having a wedding, I'd make sure that even if it's not a meal, just people have a few bites.
Little canapes.
Because where else can you have food? It's not like you can just nip somewhere else. You're
Just
kind
shop
of
across
stuck
the
there, and I
road.
hate being hungry.
Yeah.
Maybe I should bring my own snacks in future.
No, that is a good one though.
And you know when you're having a few drinks, you get even more hungry.
Yeah, you're ravenous. You'll eat anything that's
Yeah.
in front of you.
And then you end up eating too much, and you peak too early,
Mm.
and then you feel sick.
I was chatting to two of my friends yesterday actually, and they were talking about honeymoons. And a lot of people, there's like a phenomenon, is that the word?
Oh,
That apparently, if you don't go on your honeymoon within a year after your wedding, you're never going to go on it. Yeah. So you
do
should.
people not just go straight on them after the holiday?
After the wedding?
The
Like,
wedding, sorry, yeah.
right? Like, I think like years ago, it used to be the
that not a
night of your
thing
wedding
anymore?
you went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't think of anything worse. God, no. I wouldn't do that.
The
no.
prep.
No.
Although you'd be fresh from the wedding.
No. That's extreme. Like, Jesus Christ, no, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, not the night of, but like the
Yeah.
week after, something I would like that.
Yeah, I'd like that. But a lot of people say if you don't go on it within the year, you're never going to go on it.
Wow.
It'll just be something that you keep putting off.
You just put it off.
Yeah, and you'll put it off and it'll just end up being like a holiday.
Yeah,
Whereas you want it to be
true.
your honeymoon.
True. I like the idea of it being a little bit after the wedding because you can kind of stretch out celebrations, but not too long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mark, I hope you have your wedding,
Yeah.
honeymoon planned. I hope your guests are well fed.
And I hope they don't have their phones in the
Ban that.
church or whatever.
Auntie Catherine's flip out phone case.
Tell her to put it in her pocket.
Dusty leather yoke.
I'm just trying to think. If my calculations are correct, I am probably just getting off the plane now in northern Sweden in apparently minus 37 degrees. It's just too cold. Like minus 37, the penis is essentially retreated so far back inside myself that it's coming out of my bum like a little fleshy coloured tail. Do you know what I mean? That's the level of... In terms of consummating the marriage, good stuff. We'll need some sort of rope and pulley system to drive... Anyway, brilliant, Mark. A real mature way of heralding in the honeymoon, you know? Nevertheless, next up is the Conways, made up of Doireann Conway and his lovely wife-to-be, Amy. Another couple on the precipice of matrimony. And this is them talking about Disney weddings. Disney weddings seem to be more divisive than avocados, okay? I feel like avocados are pretty divisive. Anyway, Darren and Amy are here to talk about Disney weddings.
How's it going? It's Darren and Amy from the Conways podcast, which is a wedding podcast. And Mark is getting married and Darren.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Congratulations. So exciting.
See, I already did this with Joe during the week. So this is two roasts. Two
Can you
roasts in
believe
one
it?
week on the same episode.
You love it.
Tell me about the Disney weddings.
So I've seen like a few bits, people using a Disney themed wedding. Like I get it. I'm all for theme.
Or like finding Nemo napkins.
Yeah, but no, like Mickey Mouse heads and Minnie Mouse heads,
And like
table
the cake
one.
is like a castle.
Yeah, like and the big huge dresses and
And would the bride dress up as like Cinderella or something?
no, they'd use the same, but then they'd have like the bride, their veil could be Mickey Mouse ears and the veil is attached to the Mickey Mouse ears, like why? Do you know that way? Like there's would you like to have Disney?
Well,
themed?
Disney owns Star Wars and we're getting Stormtroopers.
Yeah, but our whole wedding is not based around getting a stormtrooper table one stormtrooper. Do you know
So,
that way? Like and then
I think themed weddings in general are a bit...
we have a themed wedding.
No, but like film themed or like
Oh yeah,
or
I
a
know.
TV series. Or...
Yeah, and then your bridesmaids are dressed into that. The groomsmen is wearing, what are them things on the end?
Cufflinks.
Cufflinks of Disney head, like Mickey Mouse heads, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why would you? Why? I just don't get.
There's people out there that like just don't grow up.
Yeah, literally, and they're just look. Oh, I love Disney.
I can't talk. I played in big
No,
into...
but if you love Disney, I like Disney. Like, there's nothing wrong with it,
No,
but I
Disney's
just would
grand,
not
like-
make me wedding about that.
It's
You know,
all right to have a key ring or two.
like
Or a notebook with Mickey Mouse on it, or maybe the odd hoodie in the wardrobe.
you don't have any hoodies with.
I'm
Mickey
saying
Mouse
that's
in it.
all right. That's as far as you go.
Yeah.
But if you start like basing your whole life around it,
But even the songs at the wedding, you're walking down the aisle to a Disney song.
they're like Frozen
Your
or something.
dinner is just completely all Disney themed. Like your head be done in.
Mm.
There's only so much Disney could take, and then you have people walking around, dressed as they're out of film. Say someone bringing your rings down or something like that, and they're dressed out of film.
And like your ma's just dressed there as like...
Like some things
Minnie
are
Mouse.
deadly, but no, I think it's just
You could have a hint of it.
yeah, but not the whole day. What would you do if I arrived in a horse and carriage from Cinderella? Would you
I
be like,
think that'd
why
be
are you
dead.
wasting so much money on a Cinderella cart
Mm.
and white horses and everything? Would you like that?
Nah.
No, won't be into it
We'll
now
stick
at
to
all.
the basics, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite, by the way, Mark.
Yeah. You didn't give him an invite.
I know. It's only friends and family, yeah? That's where we're at in
Only
life,
having-
isn't it?
We're only having a small
It's
one.
only friends and family.
Having a small one.
Only having a small wedding.
As they say,
Anyway, best of luck, guys. And
Congratulations and enjoy. Enjoy every minute.
yeah, because me and Mark, we're kind of good friends now. Like,
And I
you know,
didn't even get invited there.
I know, it's a bit odd, isn't it?
Sorry, can I just say a huge thank you to the lads from Talking Bollix, to Charlene and Ellie from Hold My Drink, Darren and Amy, and to Darren and Joe from Stall It, out of the good of their own heart. So I really and truly appreciate it. GoLoud is... I'm just very happy to be part of the GoLoud crew, and everyone looks after each other. So thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These are just incredibly talented people, and for them all to just lend their voices to the show like this is very touching and hugely appreciated. So thank you so much. Okay, someone's got a case of the thank yous. Also, just a reminder, if you enjoyed my travel writing whenever I was in France during the summer, there is going to be an issue of the Weekly Woes, released this Friday, a special issue, because I will be in Scandinavia, and it's going to be a feature on Copenhagen and northern Sweden and the Northern Lights and all of that. So patreon.com/Mark Megan, that's where you can get all of my writing that's totally exclusive. You won't see it anywhere else. We're 3 issues in now. So patreon.com/Mark Megan. If you enjoy the show, if you've been given a laugh at some point from the Weekly Roast over the last year, I'd really appreciate it if you did me a solid and just went on to patreon.com/Mark Megan and subscribed. We've included a link in the bio of this episode, because I know a lot of you listen when you're driving and you go, oh yeah, I must do that again later on, and then you forget. So maybe don't forget. Maybe actually make a mental note of it and think about the blood, sweat and tears that goes into making you laugh every week. No, I'm joking, but thank you. I really would appreciate it if you'd subscribe. And on that, I met a lovely woman. I was getting a couple of bits last week as a last minute sort of prep for the wedding. I got there in a little gift for the honeymoon, and this woman came up to me in Blanchardstown and she goes, oh my God, love the podcast or whatever. And I was very thankful. And then I said, oh, make sure you contribute to the show, send in something to the story, send in something to the podcast. And I think she thought I was like doorstepping her to be like, why haven't you subscribed to the Patreon? Because she was like, oh yeah, I tried, but my email, I'm having an issue with my email at the moment. Nevertheless, if that was you, if you're listening to this, if you were the woman who I met in Blanche, in flannels last Thursday, I'm very sorry. I wasn't asking you to subscribe to the Patreon in person. I'll do it here though. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Mark Megan. Guys, thank you so much for listening. As I said, normal business will resume next week. I can't wait to be back in the hot seat. It's the happiest time of my week, but at the moment I'm having the happiest time of my life. I'm on my honeymoon with my wife. Guys, thank you so much for all of the support. I'm not crying, there's something in my throat. That would be it'd be mental to know that you're going to cry and still press record. Like, anybody's emotions are just automatically put into question if they have the capacity to record before the tears arrive. The floods are fake. The monsoon of misery is not to be believed. I'm rambling. I've had 2 coffees and I'm about to get married and I'm nervous and I'm scared and all the rest. Nevertheless, goodbye. See you on the other side.